All right, we are here to preview the 2021 UMAC women's basketball season with University of Minnesota Morris head women's basketball coach Tim Grove. Tim, thanks for being here with us. We're looking forward to chatting with you. Tim is entering his 15th season coaching the Cougars. Last season made the conference tournament again. Haven't missed a beat since he started. So we're glad to just talk about the upcoming year and what that could look like. So thanks for joining us, Tim.
You're welcome. I appreciate you having me on, Sarah. Thanks.
Good. Well, let's kind of get into it, kind of talking about the obvious. It's been a long 10 plus months since we've had official conference games. I know that your players are probably excited, but what does it mean for you and your team to get back to conference competition and with everything that's happened and all those challenges they've had to overcome?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's like you mentioned, it's been since February as we've had that opportunity to get out on the floor and compete. And I think the word that I would use is thankful. We're just simply thankful for the opportunity. Teams have been at different stages throughout the fall and even into the winter here and into the new year. And we were one of those teams that not was on the sideline, but we weren't able to do a lot of the things that some other teams were able to do. In order for us to practice in October and November, we had to become a low-risk sport, which meant that we masked 100% of the time. We had no contact in practice. So that meant a lot of skills and drills, which from a coaching standpoint was great. I kind of looked at it as a non-traditional season that basketball typically doesn't have. A lot of the other sports enjoy a non-traditional season. So when Coach Lou and I were looking at that, that's kind of the way we decided to approach it. And so for our 7 weeks that we had, from the beginning of October through before Thanksgiving, we looked at it as a non-traditional season and really worked on our skill development. But to get it back to here, we are just thankful for the opportunity that we have. We've been practicing now for about a week, and it's been more basketball, which has been awesome. And even after our first real practice here about a week ago, the players were just like, gosh, that was fun. We've just really missed this. And so I think the word we would use is thankful, and we're certainly very appreciative of all the work that the UMAC administration has done, you and Corey, and not only you guys, but the athletic directors and presidents and chancellors around our conference that have just spent so much time working on this. I know I speak for everybody when I just say we are thankful for the opportunity that we are provided here. The easy thing to do, I think, would have been to throw the hands up and say, we're going to cancel things. I think that would have been the easy thing to do. And it's just great to see everyone roll their sleeves up and say, we're going to find a way to get this done. And so being here a week away about from, our opening conference weekend, we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. It would have been a lot easier in less time if we had just said we weren't going to play, but we are. And the challenges, I think, will continue. And I think people are realistic about that. But how have you kind of helped your team prepare for what that could potentially look like if we have cancellations and maybe, you have to postpone some games, just not knowing what the pandemic can do during the season, especially with our testing. So how have you prepared the team and maybe what helped you kind of get them ready for that?
Sure. I think the first thing that comes to mind is just I've been transparent and honest with them every step of the way. From when this whole thing broke, I've just been very transparent, very honest. Anything I was hearing as possibilities, I would pass on to my team, and just so they kind of had a heads up on what might be coming. Not that I had inside information or anything, but just the little bits and pieces you get. I just decided to always share that with my players, so they were informed and they knew about the possibilities coming up. And in terms of how we work with them, other than being honest, we are now, like you mentioned before, about 10 months into this thing. And so they've been through different challenges and all of that. And they've been through maybe seeing some friends of theirs or even themselves have canceled seasons from, last spring or things that they weren't able to do over the summer. So a lot of that is, we don't sit down and talk about it. The one thing we do talk about, and I think coaches and players can feel this, is we talk about controlling what you can control. And that's something that, teams at every level talk about, coaches at every level talk about, control the things that you can control. And so those are the things we focus on. We know nothing is guaranteed for us. Appreciate what you have in the moment, but control what you can control, and that is are we doing the things outside of the gym that's going to allow us to be back here again tomorrow? Now, are we taking care of ourselves? Are we staying within our team bubble? Are we doing the things that are recommended to us to be as healthy as we can be? And we are certainly hopeful that everyone is doing that. So it's just controlling what you can control. It's had been being transparent and honest throughout the whole process. And then again, it's just, they've been through it. They're learning differently than they have and doing some of those things. So by now they're rolling with the flow just like we are.
Yeah, I think learning to control what you can has been a lesson for all of us and has been helpful. And one thing I think about with that is just motivation without, you coming off a good season and trying to keep that going, and, the prospect of possibly playing in the fall and having that go away. How were you able to keep players, and how are they able to keep each other motivated, knowing and not knowing when we might play?
Yeah, I think, with motivation, that's an interesting word in how you look at that in a season like this. I think it's important that we don't get too high or too excited about things we're not sure about yet, So, we are certainly preparing. We're excited about the possibility. But the last thing I want to do is talk things up so much and then have a huge letdown, So it's, in terms of motivation, again, for me, it's just been being transparent, being honest, laying out possibilities for them, letting them know what to expect. But then it's also, no, these are expectations for our program, so we have to come every day with an attitude that craves improvement, and we have to show up and work hard and attack this like it's a normal season, although we know it's not. We can't come to practice with an attitude like, well, it may not matter anyway because we might not be playing in 2 weeks. No, we come and we show up and we work hard because that's what we do. That's the expectation. And so from a motivational standpoint, I think it's all those things that kind of come together and make that a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's positive to focus on, what you can control and, what expectations are, and hope that things do go the way we'd like to. And if they do, and we get to play, what are you personally looking most forward to about this season after everything that's happened?
Yeah, it seems so cliche at this point, but it's just the opportunity I want, and it's not about me. You mentioned, I've been here, this is my 15th season. I'm hoping to be here for 15 more. And so times like this are so not about me and not about the other coaches. I think of the seniors that are in the league. And I want that experience for them. We've got one senior, Maddie Fensky, on our roster right now. I want this season to happen more for her than anyone or anything else. And I know other programs have seniors on their teams that we just want that experience. At the Division III level, it's so much about a positive student athlete experience, and that's what we all want to provide. No one's on scholarship. They're here because they love it, right? We do it because we love it. And I would just hate to see that taken away. Some had that taken away in the spring. We don't want that to happen. And so it's for the Maddie Fenskys of the world that have this one last opportunity to go out and lace them up with their teammates. Those are the people I think about, and what I'm most excited about is to see her compete and to see that smile on her face as she's doing it, because that's what it's all about for me this year.
Yeah, I think that's what we're all looking forward to, and that's what keeps us going through all these challenges, is to have the opportunity to see the athletes be on the court again. And we certainly look forward to hopefully seeing you on the court again and in the conference tournament, and looking forward to seeing how your team does, but all the teams in the conference. So Tim, thanks so much for joining us, and really appreciate your time today.
I appreciate it, Sarah, and you and Corey, keep up the great work. We are in great hands with you guys at the helm, and we're just very thankful and appreciative of all the things that you guys have done for us. So thank you.